Hello everyone, this is a short video to tell you a little about the other cisterns that you can visit in Istanbul. As you know, Constantinople had no major river running through it, hence the need to build a gigantic aqueduct to bring water from 75 miles away. Given the city's hot, dry summers, cisterns were desperately needed to sustain the population, and archaeologists have found the remains of more than 200 Byzantine cisterns across the city. The most famous water storer is the giant Basilica cistern, which sits near the Hagia Sophia. Throughout this series, we've visited a number of cisterns in different parts of the city. The vast majority of these structures are closed cisterns, often situated underground. During my trip, I was able to visit a couple more which the completists amongst you might want to check out. The first is situated about 3 minutes from the Column of Constantine, and it's free to visit. It's another giant underground cistern named the Theodosus System, as it was built during the reign of Theodosius II. The surviving space is 24 meters wide and 40 meters long. The roof is held up by 32 marble columns with impressive Corinthian capitals. As you can see, it was restored recently and is far better lit than any other cistern you'll visit. Why? Because it's now being used for modern art exhibits, a creative use of the space, though it cuts down significantly on the atmospherics. 4 minutes walk away is another cistern just off the main road. For a small fee, you can enter the Bin Bidirek cistern, or the cistern of 1,001 columns. A rather exaggerated title, though there are an impressive 224 columns holding up the roof here. That romantic-sounding name was coined long ago, when the building looked like this. It was then far more like the Basilica cistern, a foreboding dark space with columns disappearing into the distance. It is the second largest covered cistern to have survived after the Basilica cistern. Unfortunately, the realities of life mean the building has now been converted into an events venue, hence the new floor, which hides the true height of these columns. At their full extent, they rise up to 12 meters. The most interesting feature for visitors now are these markings on the columns. They seem to be monograms left behind by the masons who erected the building. It's a nice irony that these signatures, which they assumed would be underwater for the rest of the building's use, are now the most intriguing feature for Byzantinists. If you really want to find some of the more obscure cisterns, then do visit the ByzantineLegacy.com, where an excellent map will show you where they are hiding. In addition to the hundreds of covered cisterns, the Byzantines also built several open reservoirs along the line of the Aqueduct of Valens. If you want to take a look at one of them, you could take a short walk from the Chora Church, as I did. As you can see, this open-air cistern was literally as big as a football pitch, and would capture the rainwater needed to keep this part of the city green and fertile. This is the cistern of Aetius, named for the city prefect who built it back in the 5th century. He clearly had the needs of the capital's growing population in mind. The cistern of Aspar, built a few decades later, can be found a little further away and is now being similarly occupied. I imagine most of you will give these cisterns a skip when you visit Istanbul, but remember, without them, Constantinople could not have existed. They made life here possible and are, to some extent, the most enduring reminder of the Roman past. If you'd like more detailed information about the cisterns of Constantinople, then visit the ByzantineLegacy.com. It's a fantastic website providing breakdowns of the Byzantine buildings that can still be seen today, and there you'll find most of the still images and sketches used in these videos.